Hi friends, today we are going to Sous Vide. So if you haven't heard of Sous Vide before, it's like a very slow water bath for your food, particularly good for your proteins like your chicken, your steak, but can be used for so many different things, even your vegetables. So today I'm gonna make some chicken and vegetables sous vide style. So all I've done to get started is I'm taking my multi-cooker. Here I have the lid off here. We have the 6-quart stainless steel pot, and I've filled that with water to just below the halfway mark. So there's a half and 2/3 full mark on there. You never want to be fuller than the 2/3 when you're pressure cooking. So for the sous vide though, what we need to do is get the water to a perfect temperature. And the great thing about this is it continually adjusts the temperature as it's cooking. So it'll warm it, but then if it starts to get a little bit too warm, it'll release some of the heat and pressure off of it to keep it at that perfect temperature to cook. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up. Of course, all your instructions for how to do this is in the cooking guide that comes with the multi-cooker. It is a pressure cooker. You can proof bread in here, you can sterilize in here, you can make your rice, your beans, soups, all kinds of stuff, a whole roast in here, but you can also sous vide, and that's a specific setting that has on here. So in here is gonna tell you what temperatures everything sous vide's at. For this recipe, I actually printed this off of the website. This is for pork and vegetables. I'm gonna change that to chicken and vegetables. And I know that my chicken is gonna be, you can do 145, 150, or 155, depending on how done you want your chicken. So on here, it says 145 is incredibly juicy and tender, 150 is so very juicy and tender, and 155 you're gonna have so juicy. Any way you do it, it's gonna be delicious. But I am going to go ahead and pick the 145 temperature. So all I need to do is turn this little dial until I get over here to the sous vide setting. And I am gonna pick 2 hours. It is gonna cook in that water bath for 2 hours. Now right now, all I have is the water in here because we are warming the water first to the perfect temperature before we add in the food inside of our resealable or reusable bag with our chicken and vegetables in it. So it does need to cook for 2 hours. So I'm gonna say yes by clicking that button. And the 145, I could adjust that if I wanted to, but that's actually the temperature that I want to cook this at. So again, we're gonna say yes, and it's going to start preheating. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on here so that we seal in that heat, and it is going to heat that water to the perfect temperature. This may release some steam and some heat as it's warming up. It's gonna take about 30 minutes to do that. So while that's happening, I'm gonna get my food ready and we'll be back. Okay, so we are now ready to add our food into the warmed water. It beeped at me, it says it's ready, it says add on it. I prepped all of this you saw. I have the chicken and vegetables and some seasoning and sauce all over it. The trick is you want this as flat as possible and all of the air squeezed out of it. So this is gonna go down in the water, but we are gonna leave the top part of this out of the water. I may have to grab some tongs just because this water is warm, but let's see if I can do it without. So I'm just gonna set this down in the water and push, yep, I'm gonna grab some tongs real quick. So I'm gonna kind of push this in the center so that it pushes down in there. But again, we are leaving the top part of that out. Scooch this forward, there we go. Just the top little bit is left out, and we are good to go. That is gonna hold down in there when I have the lid on. So that's basically all we're gonna do. I'm gonna put the lid back on and hit the button again, which is gonna start the cook time, which remember I said was 2 hours, and we're good to go. All right. All right, so our sous vide has cooked for 2 hours. It beeped at me, told me it's done. So Unlike pressure cooking, I don't have to release any kind of pressure. That's what it sounded like. And it'll keep beeping at me until I come and fix it. So let me show you here. I'm just gonna take the lid off. And here we have the bag. I could probably pull this up. So here's the bag with the food cooked in it. So what I'm gonna do now is actually set this over by my stovetop. I'm gonna take the chicken out, sear it, and cook the vegetables just a touch, add the sauce back in, and we're all done. Okay, so I got out my stainless steel pan, heated up a little bit of oil in the bottom of it. Always make sure that oil gets heated up first. And then I just emptied out my reusable silicone bag that we used in the sous vide. And I dumped all that out into a bowl so I could get at it better. I am just searing that chicken. I'm actually gonna sear both sides of it. And I'm also gonna add in these vegetables to cook just a touch longer. And get a little bit of crispiness on the outside of them. Sous vide is great for the perfect cook, for the perfect temperature, and to remain nice and juicy and tender. But a lot of times you want to do that final little sear with your vegetables, with your meats, to get that color and everything on it. We're going to save all of the liquid that this cooked in. The liquid is cooked. It was lemon juice and olive oil and seasonings. But we're gonna get a little bit of color on all of our chicken and on the vegetables first. There, you can already see some color on that. It's beautiful. We'll stir these veggies around and everything is good to go. That, my friends, is sous vide. Super simple. You just start it far enough ahead of time and it does all the heavy lifting for you. See ya.